When Raul reached them, he glanced at the sack that Mim was holding. "I see that you got some vegetables." "How is Celine?" Maya asked. Shaking his head, Raul said, "I honestly don't know. Before she finally went to sleep, I tried to understand what had happened and what she saw." "What was it?" Naylor asked, though his voice wasn't as gruff as usual. "All she said was that something felt strange about some of the animals," Raul said. "She saw monsters?" Kate asked. "Not monsters. She meant the forest animals." Raul tried to explain, but it was clear that even he didn't understand. Raul placed a hand to his head, clearly frustrated by everything that was happening. "Are you going to be able to get some rest?" Naylor asked Raul. "Yeah, I'll just share Celine's shelter. I don't want her to wake up and not see me close by. Though, she doesn't understand what happened. I can tell that me being near is comforting for her," Raul said. Maya felt terrible for the half-elf. Raul was trying his best on top of what all of them had to deal with. Just like with James, Raul likely didn't enjoy the fact that he wasn't contributing his share to the group. Instead, he needed to be there for his half-sister while she recovered. Though Raul may not feel as though he was helping out, it was clear that getting Celine back to the point where she'd be able to at least fight was necessary for their survival. "It's going to get harder the further we get in this request. So, take your time," Mim said to Raul. Without conveying it in words, Mim was clearly letting Raul know that the group needs Celine back. At the same time, he wasn't being hard on Raul and was trying to be gentle. "I'll do what I can," Raul smiled appreciatively. They made their way to the fires where the food was being cooked. Maya noticed several pots with water in them, one which wasn't close to the fire and next to a cutting board. The ones with water were not only on the fire, but also had a few rabbits in each of them. "Let's get the vegetable ready," Maya said as she motioned for Mim to pass the sack back to them. Maya and Kate made their way to the pot with the cool water and cutting board. Kate had to remove some of her shields to allow her to crouch. She then removed her gauntlets. "How many should we throw into the stew?" Kate asked. Glancing at the pot, Maya tried to estimate the portion size. Though she didn't want to use up all the vegetables, it was more important that they gain strength from eating the food that night. There was no telling whether, in the future, they'd need to hold off on eating due to running away from monsters. With that in mind, Maya said, "Why don't we fill it with more potatoes and only use half a head of garlic for each pot? So it'll just be one head, and the remainder we'll carry with us." "I'm guessing that's the same with the carrots and zucchini?" Kate reached into the sack and pulled out the two vegetables. "Yeah. It's easier to find those in the forest, so there's no worry when it comes to using them up," Maya said. Maya grabbed a potato from the sack and submerged it into the nearby cool pot. She washed away the excess dirt that didn't come off in the sack with her hands. Once it was clean, she pulled out her small dagger. A few slices were made before she threw them into one of the cooking pots. Next to her, Kate followed the same action to clean off the vegetables. Since it wasn't a fancy restaurant, neither of them tried to make even cuts. This caused the cut up vegetables to be larger than what people paying for a meal would be used to, but what adventurers expected.